Good morning, everyone. Happy Friday. Winding down another week here from home doing Facebook Live videos. So, as always, thanks for tuning in. I really appreciate it. All the support you guys have been giving us is so amazing. So, thanks again for tuning in. I figured we would end this week talking about nutrition. I'm not going to go very deep into nutrition because it can be a very big topic to talk about. So I'm just going to kind of skim the surface a little, get some of the major points across, things that will be easy to understand and that you can work into your diets and your daily life. So why don't we get going right away with the topic here. So when we're talking about nutrition, there's kind of these three big categories that we generally talk about. These are going to be the macronutrients. So when we talk about macronutrients, we're talking protein, carbs, and fats. So let's go ahead and break those down into what each is, and then a few foods that you can find these macronutrients in. So let's first talk about protein. So protein is essential for building. It's what they call protein is like the building blocks of the body tissue. So for me, when I think about that, I think about building muscle. So protein is very important to building muscle and maintaining muscle. Some common foods that we can find protein in are going to obviously be meats. I think that's probably the most common one that we think about. So beef, chicken, turkey, you name it. If it's a meat, probably has protein in it. Another source is going to be eggs. That's a pretty common breakfast protein source that many people strive to get. So I think the eggs that I eat have roughly, I want to say it's 7 grams of protein in each egg. So pretty good source of protein for, one egg. Another source is dairy. So this can be like yogurt, milk, cottage cheese, things like that. And then seeds. So I put seeds at the end of this list because it's not one that you would think, oh yeah, that totally has protein in it. But believe it or not, a lot of seeds are a pretty darn good source of protein. Especially if you are on a vegan diet, this is a great way to get that source of protein in. Let's switch gears and now talk about carbs. Oh, before I move on to carbs, I wanted to say that with protein, if you're struggling to find out what a serving size for you might look like, the palm of your hand is what they say a serving size of protein should be like for you. So whenever you're looking at a piece of meat and you're wondering, is that the right size for me? Just compare it to the palm of your hand. All right, so let's switch to carbs then. So carbs are a great energy source. For what I would say most exercises is we use our carb source to fuel that exercise. So when we're talking about carbs, the first thing that comes to my mind would be like oats and grains. So like bread, oatmeals, things like that. You could think of rices. Those are what my common carb sources are. You also get quite a bit of carbs from different fruits. For example, one banana probably has about 20 to 25 grams of carbs in it. That would be like a medium-sized banana. Grapes, I think, are roughly around 15 grams for a serving size. And then apples are another great source of carbs. So there's different ways other than grains and oats to get carbs into your diet. So a serving size for carbs is a cupped hand. So similar to that of protein, about the palm, but a cupped hand is what they say a carb source for you should look like. Moving on to fats here, we have fats are another great energy source that you either use or you store. So more of the prolonged exercise is going to tap into your fats as an energy source. So we tend to get fats from like fish, has the good fats. We think of nuts are a pretty good fat source, and then oils, different oils. A serving size for fats is going to be a thumb, so very small serving size. You might be wondering why. It's because for every 1 gram of fat, there's 9 calories. So for example, if you eat, let's say, 2 grams of whatever sort of fat, you're going to get 18 calories from that. I mean, that can be a very small thing. Compared to the proteins and carbs, they have 4 calories per gram. So much less calories per gram for the protein and carbs than the fats. So that's why our fats tend to be on that lower side as far as what we need in our diet. For some of us, for others it might be more. So now that we talked about the 3 big macronutrients, I wanted to switch gears a little, talk about micronutrients. Just very quickly, these are going to be your vitamins and minerals. You can find these in a lot of different foods, everything from meats to fruits and veggies. So the 3 that came to my mind for vitamins and minerals are going to be like calcium, which you can find in dairy products like milk and yogurt. You can also get it from spinach. Potassium, which you can get in bananas or potatoes. And then vitamin B12, which is an energy vitamin. You can get in beef, fish, and cheese, among many other things. And then lastly, I just wanted to talk just a little bit, since my job is exercise, I wanted to talk a little bit about post-workout nutrition. So what you should be eating after you exercise, because it is important to replenish your body of what you just lost, and set yourself up for a good recovery. So if you're burning those carbs and fats, you're going to want to replenish those so that you have energy for the rest of the day. So to me, my go-to carb source after a workout would probably be a banana. It's super simple. It digests very quickly. And it tastes great. You also want some sort of protein to help build muscle, because I said protein is what helps to build that muscle. So it's like the building blocks for the tissue. So for me, I usually drink a protein shake because I have protein supplement. But if you don't, you could eat some Greek yogurt that's very high in protein. Or if you have some sort of granola bar that's high in protein, that's probably advertised as like a protein bar. That would be another great opportunity or a thing to eat after a workout. It's going to satisfy you. It's going to fill you up because protein is the most satiating macronutrient. It means that it makes you feel the most full. So that's just a touch on the post-workout nutrition. I could go way deeper, but just to keep it simple and straightforward, just think about doing that after you exercise. All right, that is what I have on nutrition. Hopefully I didn't go too in depth. Hopefully I gave you enough information to kind of use and work into your daily routines. Once again, thanks for tuning in. Have a great weekend, and I will see you on Monday for our live exercise class. Take care.